Hi, my name is Goldman, and I'm an attorney from Goldman and Associates. And today I want to talk about the concept of domestic violence as it relates to custody cases. You know, many times, either during a marriage or even if there's no marriage, parties end up fighting over the custody of a child. And the court must take several things into account when determining what's in the best interest of the children. Should they live with mom? Should they live with dad? And there's a bunch of factors involved. Well, one of those factors that the court can look into is whether or not there's domestic violence in the household. So in a situation where all things are equal, but yet there's one person who is visiting upon the other violence in the form of domestic violence charges that could come up, or even if there aren't charges, but there are witnessed events of violence, one person over the other, the court can take that into account to determine whether or not it's in the best interest of a child to be exposed to that by living with a custodial parent who's of a violent nature. So that's something that very much could tie into the custody cases. Now you got to watch out, because people have learned that that is the case. Lawyers know that that's an important factor, and we have had many times in many situations where one person was baited into a potential domestic violence situation so that the other person could jockey for a stronger position in the custody case. You got to watch for that. If you're in a potential situation where it could blow up like that, you got to pull yourself out of there, because if the other person calls the cops and says he or she touched me, all of a sudden you get charged. And believe it or not, you can get charged with the slightest provocation. If you think that you won't get charged as long as you don't take a baseball bat to the other person, you are mistaken. The thresholds for charging a person with domestic violence are much lower than one might think. So you need to be very, very careful about this. And from the flip side, if you're a person who is routinely subject to violence in the household, you need to let authorities know about this, because it's not only a question of protecting you, but if there's children in the household, this could become a very important factor in ultimately determining the custody of those children. If you have any questions about this, reach out to us, and of course, we'll be glad to help you out.